In order to have discipline, you need to learn how to regulate your emotions and not be led astray. Your emotions will tell you that you're too tired, you're not in the mood, or they will frustrate you, and your thoughts will tell you that this is just a waste of time. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome, Happy New Year. My name is Chanel. Let's get started. How many of you have started something but stopped? You started meal prepping, but you stopped. You started going to the gym, but you stopped. Or perhaps you can't start anything because you're so exhausted with kids, work, family obligations, and life. Most of us have personal goals, but we lack the energy, time, patience, and discipline to see them through. I'm in my 40s and I know how difficult it can be to balance life and create discipline. As I've gotten older, discipline for some reason has been a little bit hard for me, especially since the pandemic. I think many people have fallen off because we got so used to the conveniences of things such as ordering through Uber Eats, ordering our groceries, and we also had to put certain parts of our life on hold because there were times we couldn't even leave our home. Many of our routines, such as going to work, going to the gym, seeing friends and family, it changed. Many people fell into a rut and depression. Some folks also developed social anxiety. There are folks who still work remotely or their employer has adopted a hybrid work environment. Do you know how many of my clients have said to me that they log into work from their bed still in their pajamas? Our motivation is lacking, our discipline is lacking, and I understand the why behind it. Whether you have kids, a busy career, family obligations, friendship obligations, or you're just trying to get back into a routine, your needs may not always be at the top of your priority list. However, that has to change. If you want to go to the gym, if you want to eat healthy, engage in self-care, create your business plan, go on a date, read your favorite book, or start something at all, it requires learning how to master the art of discipline through creating habits. I want you all to keep these 5 habits or ways of thinking in mind to help change your mindset and create discipline. Number 1, recognize that emotions are fleeting. Your emotions will ruin your day if you let them. Having emotions is not a bad thing, but not knowing how to manage your emotions can keep you stuck in a rut of negativity if you aren't careful. In order to have discipline, you need to learn how to regulate your emotions and not be led astray. Your emotions will tell you that you're too tired, you're not in the mood, or they will frustrate you, and your thoughts will tell you that this is just a waste of time. Once you realize you don't have to give in to every emotion, you'll start to push past the temporary feelings you have in order to complete your task. Another habit to master discipline is to get to know yourself and your circumstances. It's important to understand what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Are you an early riser or are you a late riser? Do you enjoy structured fitness classes or freestyling at the gym? Do you struggle to prioritize yourself? Do you take on way too many tasks throughout the day? Do you have help with the kids? These are questions I want you to think about. Pause and reflect on your lifestyle. It's important that you can identify certain areas that may require more work and more support. In order for you to create discipline, you have to be realistic about your lifestyle and what you can and cannot do. If you're single with no children, your ability to create that discipline may be easier than someone who has children with no support. If you've fallen into the latter category, your needs will look different, and it's okay. Leave room for change because you have to prioritize yourself and your kids. Discipline is very possible, but you have to leave room open for unforeseen situations that may arise. This is why it's important to get to know yourself and understand your circumstances. What works for others may not work for you. Number 3, another habit to foster discipline is to create realistic and achievable goals. In order for you to adhere to your goals, are you being realistic about what you can do Or are you copying someone else's lifestyle? It's not bad to look at what others are doing, but you want to make it your own. If getting up at 5 a.m. isn't feasible, don't do it. It doesn't mean you're lazy, it just means that you know what works for you and your lifestyle. And 5 a.m. isn't it. Maybe you have 2 young kids and you can't make it to the gym. Perhaps you can only work out when your kids are sleeping or on your lunch break. Perhaps you work night shifts and you're exhausted during the day. Whatever your goal of discipline is, you have to take into consideration the fact that you are working night shifts and think about how it's going to impact your mind and your body. In order for discipline to be achievable, you have to be honest with yourself and not try to copy someone else's lifestyle. Number 4, you want to identify barriers that prevent you from maintaining discipline. For example, if I want to be more disciplined and wake up at 6 in the morning, one barrier would be is that I may go to bed at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. scrolling on my phone. Or perhaps I want to eat healthy, but I don't do my grocery shopping. So one barrier could be is that the home is filled with junk food. Once you can identify the barriers, you'll want to problem solve. Figure out a way to solve the issue so it doesn't impact your goals and your ability to discipline yourself. The last habit to keep in mind when mastering self-discipline is to make a lifestyle change. Don't tell yourself you're only going to go to the gym so you can lose 15 pounds. Just go to the gym because it's good for your health. Don't meal prep for 2 weeks and then think it's okay to take a break. What tends to happen is that most people fall back into old patterns of behavior. For them, discipline is temporary. We have to change our thoughts, our feelings, and our behavior. You have to be ready to commit to those changes. These changes can't just be a temporary fix. If you're in your 30s and 40s and you feel overwhelmed with life and all the responsibilities that come with it, everything doesn't have to change in one go. You can gradually work your way up to those changes, as long as you know it's going to be a permanent change in your life. If you can't commit, don't do it. At least not right now, but give yourself a time frame. I've seen people start something and they're really not ready to commit to it, and then they just fall off and they never want to get back into it again. Take a step back and ask yourself, what do I need in order to be successful? Are my goals realistic and conducive to my lifestyle? These 5 habits that I mentioned may not be enough. Perhaps there is something going on at a deeper level. Fear of failure, need for perfection, depression, anxiety. There can be a multitude of things that can prevent someone from being disciplined. Don't be too hard on yourself, and please, please, please stop comparing yourself to others. I know you do it. You don't know their story and they don't know your story. As with everything, lead with compassion. Be self-inquisitive and start small. Mastering self-discipline isn't easy, especially when life is lifing. If you made it to the end of my video, let me know what you do to maintain discipline and what you've done to manage barriers that pop up. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.